Awesome. All right, so thank you for joining us today. My name is Wendy Bullard. I'm with Centier Bank, and I'm presenting credit today. So if you have any questions, please put your questions in the chat, and we will answer them as quick as possible. All right, so who loans money?
Me.
Well, I'm taking a loan out with you then. So we have our banks, we have our credit unions, we have loan companies, we have payday loan companies as well. We have our friends, our family, they all may loan money to us. But how do we pay it back? Do we pay it back? And have you ever loaned someone money that just never paid you back, or thought actually you just gave it to them, right? So as we'll move through this, we'll talk a little bit about different ways you can build credit, different ways that you can improve credit, or if you have no credit, how to start earning credit. So objectives today: understand what credit is, learn the positive and negative aspects of credit, increase your knowledge of the role of credit reports and credit scores, and increase your knowledge of how to improve your credit report and score. What's the difference? We have debt and we have credit. Debt is the money you borrow from a business or a person. So if you go to the bank and you get an auto loan, your debt is to the bank. You owe the bank the money. Credit is your ability to borrow the money. Without credit, you can't borrow. Why is credit important? So we have numerous things in life that come up as life just hits us sometimes. We may have an emergency that comes up. I may have a flat tire. Do I have the funds in my account to fix it? And a lot of people in America are going to say no. They don't have the funds put back for savings. A lot of us live paycheck to paycheck. So a great time for credit is in time of emergencies. Convenient when you do not have cash. So same thing goes there. Allows you to pay for larger purchases over time. A home. Probably 90% of us don't have the funds to just go out and buy a home and pay cash for it. So we would need a loan to make that purchase. It also helps us obtain employment, housing, and insurance. This comes into effect a lot in 2022. A lot of companies that want to hire you, they're going to check your credit now. Housing, for apartments, they all check your credit to see what's on there. And insurance, your rates may be higher due to insurance. Cell phone bills, they check for your credit, and you may have to put a deposit down in those instances. When is credit or debt worth it to you? So what would you be willing to go into debt for? I myself am willing to go into debt for a house. I just moved recently, and that's something that was really important to me, was getting a bigger house for my family. And so I had to take on that debt to be able to do it. Some people need the transportation to get back and forth to a job. That may be worth it to you. Cell phones, everybody has cell phones, but if you don't have the credit to not have to pay a deposit on it, then you'll have to work up your credit to be able to do that. Is your credit in good shape? Let's take a look at these statements, and as we go through these statements, think about if this is true for you or not. I have seen my credit report before. My credit report is accurate. I maintain a credit score above 700. I understand the cost of interest. I know how long it will take to repay debt, making monthly payments. I know the total amount, principal plus interest, of a loan I owe. How many of those do you have a yes next to? If there are a few on here that you don't, work towards knowing those. What Why is a credit report important, and what does it do? It tells lenders who you are, how much debt you have, whether you have made payments on time, and whether there's a negative information about you in public records. So a lot of times your cell phones, your IPLs or power and lights, gas bills, they don't report to credit unless you have negatively not paid them. But if you have auto loans, credit cards, house, those will report to credit. What is a credit report used for? To obtain loans and other credit to get certain kinds of jobs, rental applications, mortgages, to pay less for insurance, less for cell phone bills, less for lights and gas. Here's a great link to go to. It's called www.annualcreditreportcom. You can go here once a year for free and check all 3 credit bureaus. So Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are your 3 credit bureaus. When you go to this website, it's going to be able to show you your credit report, not your credit score, but your credit report, what's on there, how much debt you owe, if you have any negative information. And from there, you can go into each credit bureau and dispute if you see something on there that shouldn't be on there. You do want to check this every year to make sure that you don't see anything weird or something on there that should not be on there. I check mine. I will do one at the beginning of January. 4 months later, I'll do a different credit bureau, and then 4 months later, I'll do another credit bureau, just to make sure that there's nothing weird. Not every auto place or mortgage company credit card will report to every credit bureau. So at Centier, if you get an auto loan or a home equity line with us, it only reports to TransUnion. So you may see something on your credit report with Experian or TransUnion that you wouldn't see on Equifax or vice versa. Some things you really want to check on your report: your name, make sure your name is correct, social security number, address, personal information. Is each account listed a debt that you actually owe? Is this something that you actually applied for or owe money? Is the negative information correct? If you have something on there negatively affecting you, is it correct? Is it the right amount? Was it reported correctly? Was it reported under a different name, but maybe they accidentally put it on your credit bureau? And then information listed under public information. You just want to make sure that that's correct as well. I don't know if anyone's seen the credit repair scams that go around, but these companies promise that they're going to repair your credit and you're going to have this fantastic credit within 3 to 6 months and everything's just going to be wonderful. If they're asking for money up front, it's probably a scam. Most of credit repair companies can do exactly the same thing that you can by going to Annualcreditreportcom, pulling your credit bureaus, and then disputing transactions that aren't yours to begin with. So that's where they start at. They promise that they're going to fix bad credit notations. They can't fix bad credit notations. And they offer to provide a service for payment up front. If they're asking for a payment up front, it's a scam. So if you look on this page, credit scores are listed from 300 to 850. Credit score 300 to 549 is very poor, and about 16.7% of people have this credit score in the United States. If you look at 550 to 649, this is where the largest percentage of people's credit is currently at. and some credits possible here, but rates are going to be a little higher and you're going to be required larger down payments in this area. If you go to the 750 to 850 credit score, this is where your second group of people have the highest scores, 30% of people. You're most likely to receive the best rates, and just about anything you apply for is in this credit score. This is excellent credit. I've never seen anyone with the 850 credit score, but I've definitely seen the 820s, 830s. Most people I see are going to be in the 700 to 749 range, even though it says 12.6%. They're usually going to get approved too. Going to be really competitive on rates, but they're not going to get the best rate possible until they hit the 750 mark. Credit build and repair. So power pay. So that means you can pay rapidly to credit cards. So you go out, you get gas, and then 2 weeks later you pay it. This is power pay, so you're paying quickly. They're seeing the balance go down quickly. Secured credit cards will help you build your credit. So secured credit card, a lot of times, say you go to the bank and they say, oh, well, we can't offer you a normal credit card, but we can offer you a secured credit card. What you do is you would take $500, put it into a savings account, and then the bank would put a hold on that $500, but issue you a credit card with $500 limit on it, and you could use the credit card to buy and make purchases and pay it back monthly, and it helps build your credit over time. Freezing credit building loans, so that would work very much just like the secure credit card would work. And we would put money in like an account to hold it, but then give you the money and you would pay back payments with interest to build up that so it looks like a loan. Freezing credit, this is free in Indiana. You can go to all the credit bureaus. You can either call or you can go online and you can freeze your credit. You can freeze your credit instantly through them. Just remember, if your credit is frozen, that you will need to unfreeze it if you're going to apply for something in the future. So you can wait till the day of, unfreeze it for like a 48-hour period, and then it will freeze back. What's really special about freezing credit is there's a lot of scams that go around and a lot of personal identity theft, and this would help keep that from happening on your credit. So this scenario right here talks about a TV, and this TV costs $200. So with cash, if I went and bought this TV would be $200 plus tax, right? Well, I decided that I want to do an in-store loan instead. So the in-store loan actually cost me $232 plus tax. So they charged me a little bit of an interest, $32, not that bad, but still cost me more than if I just had cash. Well, I decided, no, I think I'm gonna do a small dollar loan, okay? I'm gonna do a little loan on this. Well, now, after I pay this loan back, I paid $322 for this TV. So $122 in interest went to the loan company, and the $200 TV is mine. Well, today I decided I'm gonna go buy the same TV, but I'm gonna go to rent to own, okay? And now I've paid this TV off. It's been about 12 months, and I've paid $624 for a $200 TV, which if I tried to sell it or take it back, it's probably worth $50 now. So be careful with your rent-to-own places. Interest rates are huge, usually 30, 40, 50%, and it's very costly to do rent-to-own. This is talking about the same thing. All right, so one thing I want you to do, get on Annualcreditreportcom. Pull your credit reports. Check your credit score. If you Credit Sesame, what's the other one? Credit Karma. Credit Karma. These places will show you a roundabout of what your credit score is. This is not your true credit score with the banks though. So it just gives you a roundabout score of about where you're at, okay? Then they say to opt out of unsolicited credit offers, especially if you're trying to build or repair, because these just get you caught up back in that credit frenzy that we call it. So just check your credit report, and if you would like for me to sit down with you and go through it, because sometimes credit reports are very hard to understand, I would be willing to do that. My information is right here, and you can always reach out to me. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
I don't. She hasn't posted any. Do you know if credit